Okay.
All right, it is happening. This is the #1 podcast for street art in the world. Welcome to Jidar podcast. This is my second episode, and today it is a very special episode because I am blessed with two international artists to my right. So I have this gimmick when I introduce the podcast. I do it like the boxing ring guy. So to my right, I have Luogo Comune. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
Pretty much. And Luogo Comune, who is visual artist, muralist, illustrator.
Perfect.
We did a little bit of research. Well, first came up the filmmaker from Luogo Comune. I don't know if you've ever Googled yourself.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Do you know like the other result that people get when they type Luogo Comune?
Well, in Italy, because for the people who are listening, I'm coming from Italy. When you type Luogo Comune, the first result that appears is like a conspiracy theory website.
Right, about like the September 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what is the tie with our artists for this year? Yeah, but then I did like a little bit more research and it turns out that it's not the same thing. And to my left, I have none other than one of the most prominent street artists and visual artists here in Morocco, Normal. Welcome.
Lekker Berbek.
Ayoub. Today is a very special episode because I have been fishing and I caught two fresh fishes because these guys, they literally just came out of signing their wall. They have been working for this 9th edition of Jidar on a collaborative wall. And well, this is the first question I want to lead with is how is it like to work on a collaborative wall? Is it you guys' first collaborative wall? Like for each, have you like worked each on collaborations? Like it's like your first collaboration?
Yeah, on a high wall like this, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, you've done collaborative work. What about you, Jacopo?
I mean, with Ayoub, it's the first time we collaborate together. But I did some other collaboration back in other projects with other artists. Yes.
What's the difference between working on a collaborative wall versus like a solo wall? What are the considerations that you have to like take into account?
Well, a lot of things, of course, because you have a canvas, but the canvas is not yours. So you have to think of it collectively. You have to find that field where both of us meet, and that's where we can create, Because when you're solo, you can go wherever you want. But when we are two, we have to talk about where do we both want to go and find what's common, find these directions that we both want to go to and start exploring this.
This is very interesting because for the naked eye, right, for like a simpleton like me, I don't come from an artistic background, but like when I walk through this hospital and I see this artwork, I see a lot of synergy. Like it's hard to tell that there are like two different minds behind, because like the way the colors work with each other, the way like the shapes melt with one another, you can tell if you like look really closely that there's like a difference in art, but like at the same thing there's like this beautiful synergy. How did you guys like work this? Can you like talk to us? So by the way, this podcast is made for like a wide audience, not people with a technical background about like arts and so on. So like for the simpleton like me, what can you guys tell us about the difference between like preparing this collaborative work? Because I know like normally on a mural, you guys like have like an idea, you do some research, you have like idea, and then maybe you work on the idea on a small canvas, and then you move on to like the bigger canvas. Is it like similar here? Did you guys like sat together, chit-chatted?
Yeah, firstly, we had this email from Salah, the art director of Jidar, asking us if we were willing to do this project together, because neither me or Ayoub, we never met before. So it was like a challenge, because you have to work on something really big, really challenging in terms of physical work with a person you have never met. So it could be a nice nice end or maybe not, you know. So it was really like a bet. So we first like had a WhatsApp conversation, like you know, we introduced and we just like had a meeting, you know, between me and Ayoub to just to see if, you know, we could have a good vibe, you know, if the, you know, if something met, if it could have been a match together. And it actually it went well, you know. So we decided that we both wanted to work together, and after that we started to brainstorm some ideas of what could have been the theme, you know, the motives of the painting. And after this brainstorm, we ended up with some ideas, and we started to develop separately, and with some ideas of composition, with some ideas of subjects, and then we exchanged these sketches we've done, and start building a design from that. So like matching colors, matching subjects, trying different composition, and, you know, send it back and forth to one to another, until we arrived at certain level of final design. But it took some time, you know. It took really like a lot of time to process, to think about it, and to build it up together, you know, step by step, you know, without
It was some kind of ping pong, you know. I try something, I send it, he tries something over it, send it back. So it was an exchange.
This is very interesting. I would not have thought that there would be such openness and communication between artists, because I feel I've been talking to a lot of artists through Jidar, and I noticed that you guys have, like, compared to like some other form of art, like say for example like musicians, for example, I feel like street artists and visual artists in general, they're a little bit more down to earth, and they have like this more openness, and there's like less ego clash in such work. Obviously there's like always a little bit of ego in any work of art. Like I want to put my art, especially like in mural art, like I want to put my art on this big canvas so like everyone can see it. But like when it comes to collaborative work, I am surprised and like pleasantly surprised to hear that like two artists, great artists such as you guys, can like just sit down, work on like drafts, shoot it to the other artists, welcome it with open arms, and like, you know, the ping pong that I've said. Is this like a common thing, or like did you guys just have like a good chemistry?
I think we had a good chemistry, I think, but it depends, you know, how are you? I mean, for me, for example, I come from graffiti, so and I did then, as I said at the beginning, I did already some collaboration, but also when you do graffiti with your crew, with your friends, you know, you go all together on the wall and you have your own ideas, and then you put it on the wall, and then you maybe do a background together, and then you start adding like, I don't know, like a character in between two letterings, and then the character maybe doing something on the lettering of your friend. So it's, I think for me it's also being able to collaborate with an artist. It also come from that experience that I had, you know. I had really with a different artist, you know, we try different things, and also it's very interesting because you never know what can come, you know. Maybe when you work solo, more or less you can, you know what is gonna be the direction of your work, because, you know, it's what you do. So of course there's always surprise when you work, but more or less, you know, you have guidelines, you know a little bit where you're going. Instead, you know, working together with somebody else, you know, it's like maybe the other guy or the other girl came up with an idea, with a completely far away idea from you that can inspire you and can lead you to discovering some new things, you know, that you
It's
have
like
never.
improv dance. It's
Yeah.
like you're improvising a dance.
Yeah, or
together.
more like, or jazzy, you know, like jazz thingy. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I'm glad that you guys both swiped right on each other through the Jidar matching app.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like Salah is kind of like the artistic Cupidon that made this happen. So shout out to Salah for making this happen. Is this your first time, Jacopo, here in Morocco, or have you been here either as a tourist or as an artist?
No, it's my second time in Morocco. I've been here in 2018, so 6 years ago, and as a sprycation with a friend of mine. So we traveled from Andalusia to Morocco a little bit to paste up some posters, painting on the street spontaneously. And I did 2 paintings in Rabat, 2 spontaneous painting in Rabat back in 2018, and I went to see them, you know, during these days that I was here, but sadly they were gone. So they no longer exist. Well, you know.
Well, this is a great segue to the next question, which I want to ask both of you, because Normal, you have done mural art outside of Morocco in Europe, and I want to know for both of you, what is the difference between like doing street art in Morocco and like doing street art elsewhere, like either when it comes to public reception, or also when you have sneaky walls. Is that what you call them? Like
Spontaneous.
That is
I don't like the word illegal.
Yeah.
So I prefer spontaneous.
Spontaneous wall.
For me, I feel it's more communal here. So when there is a wall, it's a whole thing. It's a happening. The people will comment about it. Will talk to people. You know, people will come to us and say things. Maybe just ask what it means, or tell us what it means, what they saw in it, or just friends joining and chilling, or sometimes we get tea, we get food, it depends on the area of the wall. So that's the main difference between being here and elsewhere. But still, even like in Northern Europe, still there are people who want to talk, you know, but it's just less spontaneous, let's say, because here people are very comfortable with talking to strangers, you know. There maybe people don't want to bother, you know, so they'll be like turning
a little bit
around,
too respectful.
being respectful. But when they see that you're okay with talking, they will start sharing, they will start asking, and it's at the end it's very much the same. When you get to break the ice, people have the same questions, have the same curiosity. So that's what's interesting.
Isn't this what street art is about? Because like you make your artwork, but then you don't lock it in a museum or like an art gallery. You like deliberately choose to put it for everyone.
Right.
Did you had the same experience as Normal when you worked on your spontaneous arts? Did you get like any kind of interactions?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it's especially in maybe in when, you know, in big project like big walls, you know, maybe it's hard. Sometimes it's hard because of course you are most of the time up on the lift, you know. So, but also, you know, it's happened to me the same, and I think it's one of the funniest part of doing this job, you know, when you are painting in the streets and maybe on the level ground, you know, of the streets, and the people stop. I mean, in Italy, for instance, it happens a lot as well, and you know, people stop and comments your work, and sometimes it's positive, but sometimes it's also not positive, or they come up with a request, you know, can you paint the name of my girlfriend, can you paint the logo of my favorite football team, or maybe it's very common, or they just like ask, you know. It happened to me that people stop and commenting they didn't really like the painting, and without even knowing who I was, what was the painting about, what was the whole situation, they would just stop and they would just wanted to say what they wanted to say. So it's like, I don't like it, you know, this painting sucks. And that's when the fun begin, you know, because then you start, you know, teasing them, you know, about, you know, why they don't like it, and maybe, you know, trying to discover more about it, you know. But it's really funny. It's really funny, and I think it's one of the reason I'm doing this, you know, because it's something that it's really for everybody, and it's really where everybody can interact. And also it's nice when you have done something and the people read something else, you know, because it's really nice when you do something that of course has a meaning for you or has a certain ideas, but then the people can read whatever they want, and it's super nice when they say, oh, what is this, and they came up with some strange vision of your painting that it's maybe even sometimes more interesting of what you have thought, you know, at the beginning. So
we just had a comment earlier from a guy. He was making a comment about your part of the mural.
Okay.
He says he just saw us sitting there and like talking about you guys, and it was like, I swear this mural is 3D. We were like, what do you mean by it's 3D? I was like, dude, yesterday I was smoking some spliffs, and the eyes, I swear the eyes were open. But then the guy was sitting next to me and I was talking to me, like, what are you talking about? The eyes are obviously closed. So already you have like exactly yeah. I don't know if we said this before, but this is maternity. How do you say it in English? It's like maternity?
Maternity, yeah.
So this is a place where people come here and give birth.
Yeah.
Does working for you guys here in a maternity have like a special meaning for you? Because like a life gets created. Well, it gets created technically 9 months per year, but like this is here where it's delivered.
Yeah.
Have you guys experienced like? Well, you guys have been like up there, right?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but also a lot of time chilling in the grass.
Chilling on the grass.
Yeah.
So have you witnessed like any kids being born? Have you seen anything like that?
Yeah, we sometimes hear kids being born.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that you gotta hear it, right?
Yeah. We sometimes hear that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's charged with meaning. This whole experience, you know, being able to paint here, and so this mural, when we think of it, and seeing how huge this building is.
It is the biggest wall of this year's edition. It is humongous.
Yes, and the
40
highest
meters,
one
right?
I've done.
Oh, for you? It's
the highest.
It's the record.
Me too.
I've done larger,
but
not that high.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
So yes, this building, when we think of it, lots of people get born here every day. So lots of families come here every day to go to have their baby.
Yeah.
And so this wall is what's welcoming them, you know?
Oh my God. Yeah.
When they enter here, that's the thing they see. It takes all the visual space. So that's what they see coming in. That's what they see coming out. And this is very meaningful, and that's what I personally had in mind, is to be able to send a feeling of serenity, you know, of relief, of al-itmi'nan, when they are coming and they're going into labor. So I wanted an image that would inspire calmness and stillness, and everything will pass.
No, this is only my personal comment, but I think that was a success because you guys actually took us there. There is a certain like calm energy about the wall. Did you guys knew beforehand? Is that something that Salah have shared with you, that you guys will be working on a maternity?
Yeah.
Since day one, exactly. Yeah.
What is your top moment from? You guys have been working on this for 8 days. I think you started on the 9 days.
Yeah,
you started
Today
on
is the 9th. Yeah.
Well, what was the highlight from these?
Picnics. Absolutely, picnics.
have you guys been picnicking right here?
Yeah. Because this wall is a little bit difficult to be able to work together at the same time. So there are parts that we collaborated all together. So Jacopo, me, Roshdi and Pedro, who were there to help us.
Roshdi, by the way, who's right behind the camera. Shout out to Roshdi.
So we all work together in some tasks, but mainly it's either Jacopo being there or me being there.
So you guys alternate.
Yeah, so when Jacopo is working, I'm just laying on the
other is
grass
picnicking.
here under this tree, and the only thing that makes me get up is when the sun moves and the shadow goes away.
Oh,
So I have to.
Can we do a 360 and just like show this is really nice. Have you guys been having lunch here?
Yeah, also a little, but I mean, they have been so welcoming to me that we have been tasting all kinds of Moroccan food, you know. So during these 9 days, so we have been also, you know, outside the hospital to try different food every day.
But yesterday we had couscous here.
Very
indeed.
serious question. I mean, you're Italian. You guys are renowned for your cuisine. What does an Italian like you think about Moroccan cuisine?
Yeah, it was unbelievably good.
Oh yeah.
Really. Yeah.
Have you felt any like resemblance, like from a Mediterranean country to another Mediterranean country? Do you feel like the olive oil and you're like, oh, this is familiar, but then like these guys cook with spices?
No,
what was
no,
like
no.
your?
No, I'm really curious, you know. I'm really curious of discovering new stuff and trying new foods, you know. My friends call me, maybe it's hard to translate in English, but they call me like gastronaut. You know, so it mixed in between gastro and astronaut, you know, because
Nice,
I'm really craving to try explore, even
Nice.
when it's, you know, super dirt street food. So I'm really not afraid of, you know, I'm not picky, you know. I could have a pizza right now, but you know, I haven't missed spaghetti, for instance, in these 10 days, you know.
Favorite dish from the last 9 days?
Phew. Hard question.
Sardine مشوي of today. Sardinias.
Yeah, maybe let's
Sardine مشوي.
let's give it a top 3, because one it's very difficult.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yes. I would say rfiza that we have.
Well, if he remembers the name, that means it touched his heart.
Then the sardines we had today. Yeah, and then the couscous we had yesterday here all together. It was really nice, you know, that all friends, you know, and all the staff of Jidar and the security guys and the guy and Ayoub from the lift company, you know, and we all were sharing couscous down the wall together. So this was really good couscous made by Pedro's family, but it also was really nice for the moment, you know, that we've been sharing.
Yeah.
Well, it is the best way to enjoy couscous is to have it like in a communal
it's part of it.
setup. So there's this question that I ask every artist, and it's like a fantasy question. Okay, it's like I want you not think about real stuff, but like fantasy. If you had like the possibility to do a mural anywhere in the world, which place would you choose? I mean, it could be like for example, last episode, Ed Honor, he said he would do la Grande Muraille de Chine. You know, like this mural.
But a graffiti, but a throw up, you know, like, and then go to jail forever.
Yeah. What about you guys? Do you have like a fantasy location or like wall you would like to?
Well, if it's fantasy, I would imagine a monolith in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of, I don't know.
The one of
2001.
Space Odyssey.
Yeah. Like
that
this one. Yeah, I would
Dude,
pick that one. Yeah, from
that's
Space
sick.
Odyssey. Yeah, I would pick that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about this actually. So it's really tough question to answer. No, I have no favorite place, because you know, every time I have the chance to travel a lot, so so every time it's always like different places. So I think it's this, you know. I think maybe the fantasy would be and to keep doing this, you know, so to have the chance to see much more new countries, new places, new walls in, you know, other countries.
Sometimes real life is crazier than fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Like a maternity thingy. Like maybe you would have not thought about it, but like reality surprises you.
Yeah, me from 2011 wouldn't believe that today I'm doing this. He wouldn't believe that.
Are you giving yourself a high five back in time?
Into the mirror.
That's pretty dope. I had like another question. It was about like something you touched upon, Jacopo, was about secret messages. Obviously, people asked you to maybe like put subliminal messages in your wall. and obviously you're an artist. You do your own thing. But like, have you ever like, I don't know, for like a crush or like a loved one, you like sneaked a subliminal message hidden in a mural?
No, I haven't done that. But I was, I remember this when I was 16, that I had a girlfriend that she wasn't living in my hometown, so we were like seeing each other taking the train, and I was doing like a painting for her, like lettering for her near the station, and I got caught by the cops doing that.
Oh wow!
Yes,
so,
yes.
so it didn't get finished.
No, it was and for many years, because it was like a not very good, in very good condition wall, so it stays there for years and years. So every time I was passing by, even I wasn't of course then dating that girl anymore, but I was seeing that unfinished written writing, and it was like
Has your art ever helped you in your romantic life in any way? I was talking last episode with Ed Honor.
Of course.
And he told me about like how he's now married to his wife. The first contact for his wife was through a mural he did, I think, in Ouarzazate or Tiznit. He told me about it. So I'm curious, like, has as Jacopo said, this is like some gestures of love. Sometimes you do. Have you like ever like took your a date or like a girlfriend or on a stroll, and you take her to like an area where there's like a wall, and you're like, oh my god, look at this. That's crazy.
Well, no, for me it's quite the opposite of this. I'm scared that I might be with an admirer,
Oh,
so the groupie, with the groupie,
the groupies.
Yeah. So I try to not put this aside. I try to not put it to not give value to that, and share other things about me and see how it goes.
This is kind of like the advice my mom gives me. It's like, when you're gonna get your wife, get her while you're broke. You don't want to find your wife and she's like in it for the money or anything.
Well, for what about me, the girl, my actual girlfriend, I met her in a city where I was doing a painting, and she owns a bookshop for children books. And I'm also doing, beside illustration, beside street art, I do picture books for children. And we had like a book presentation together. And because I was doing this painting in that city, so the festival organizer thought it was a nice idea to have this book presentation with an artist who had just finished the painting, and there was her introducing, with doing the presentation, and that's the girl I'm living now. So so definitely street art helps me, in also in love, so
this is beautiful. What do you guys do about your clothes? Because is this paint?
We're gonna sell it. We're gonna sell it on eBay, and make it a fortune. Yeah,
that's why it's like
I'm collecting my old shoes, with the.
Well, I mean, maybe you said that jokingly, but like it should be a thing, right? It's like memorabilia from the wall.
No,
no,
I won't do that.
So what do you guys do with your? Because obviously this goes to the washing machine. It won't do anything to it, right?
Yeah.
It's like paint.
Yeah.
So what do you do with these clothes? Do you
guys
like
again?
do you rock them like fashion? Like this is my style?
I don't.
No.
Would you guys go to like, I don't know, a restaurant or like coffee shop?
No. But the problem with me is like that all my clothes are dirt with paint, because sometimes it happened that I ended up painting in situation, and I'm not prepared with my painting clothes. So every clothes that I have drops of paint, and my girlfriend is always complaining about, because every time we go out, there is always like a dirt clothes, even the good one.
Your DNA.
Yeah, not like exactly, not dirt like this, but still. Not one T-shirt without a drop of paint. So sadly,
may I say, you guys look fabulous. I love your outfits. It's looking pretty good. I want to close on any tips that you guys have. Well, you guys have been doing like visual arts for a while now. Any tips you can share with like young, inspiring artists? What can you guys tell them?
Go out and paint.
Go out and paint.
That's the only thing.
Be spontaneous.
Be spontaneous, exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the only thing. You know, you grab some paint, grab some spray cans, with your friends, by yourself. You know, check the spot. You go into abandoned places and just paint. You know,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing. Yeah, because
Awesome.
it's the funniest thing in the world for me.
There you go. You heard it from Jacopo. أيوب تقدر ديرها بالدارجة. إلا كان عندك شي ميساج تبغي دوزو لي زارتيست يلاه
نفس الحاجه خرج صباغ ولا خفتي تخرج اندي فاين الا خفتي تخرج صبغ في الداخل صبغ في الدار في شي بيت راه ما كتاخذش بزاف ديال التعنكيش ولا ديال الوقت تاخذ صبيغه 500 درهم تاخذ صبيغه بليطانت لعيبات غتصبغ حاد ديالك غتصورو تسالي عاود تصبغو بالبيض حتى واحد ما عاقبك سد عليك في البيت واحد يومين تصبغو في نهار تصور داك الشيء تعاود تصبغو بالبيض صافي باش تبين لي بورتفوليو ابري زعما اون فوا عندك بورتفوليو لا قبل ما يكون عندك بورتفوليو كاينين دي زينيسياتيف دابا ماشي بحال يا كيلكو زاني جيدار كل عام كاين مور كوليكتيف دفع ما تقبلتيش هذا العام راه ماشي حيت انت ما مزيانش ولا حيت ما كتعرفش راه غير حيت كاينين بزاف تاع الناس دفعوا وكل عام لا لين ديريكتريس ديالو يعني دفعتي ما تقبلتيش عاود دفع العام اللي من بعده عاود دفع عادي شحال من حاجه هكذاك وكل شيء كيدفع ويعاود يدفع حتى كتشد.
Beautiful message. Well, do you guys have like any final thoughts or words of wisdom? I guess these were like some kind of words of wisdom. Do you guys have like anything to plug, to shout out? Any book that is coming out? Any artwork? Any next tattoo sessions? I know you've been like doing some tattoos. So yeah, anything that you guys want to plug? You want the community to hear about you, where they can find your art, stuff like that?
Well, I think like everybody, you know, follow us on Instagram.
There you go. There you go.
And yeah, I think that's it. You know, where everything, you know, goes through that. So I think it's the best thing to do.
Awesome. Same for you.
Yeah, same. Yeah, Instagram. جديد تما كيكون ديما.
YouTube. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks a lot.
This has been a great talk, and
Indeed.
see you guys in the next one.